What's up guys, this is an in-depth guide of Ashe. Enjoy. So as playing Ashe, you are hit scan, so you always want to make sure you're in a good position to do damage, but also keep yourself at the line of fire of other hit scans, so like Widow, Soldier, McCree, all that kind of stuff. So when you peek, you don't want to be slow peeking like this. You don't want to be doing this against these kind of characters because you will get smoked. So the best thing for you to do is always come around the corner and then come back, reload, and then always make sure you're coming back. Crouching, doing this, you know, trying to make you as hard to hit as possible. Because Ashe has a very slim hitbox, so you actually do alright if you're playing against other heroes, if you actually peek very quickly and then just get out of there, you know. Even if you miss a couple of shots, at least you're doing some damage, but you're also not getting yourself killed in the team fight. So you always want to make sure you're not just peeking. You always want to make sure it's off and off angle. Just make sure you're coming in and out of cover as much as possible. And also playing Ashe, Dynamite is a very important tool for you to actually engage with enemies and to do damage over time. I will put the statistics on the screen for you so you can actually see what the radius is, how much tick rate it does. I think it does 20 to 50 explosion damage if you do it above their head, and then depending on the radius, and also I think it does 100 tick rate, 100 damage over a couple of ticks. So, and then it obviously will bring enemies down if they don't get healed enough. If they're discorded, they can die to the dynamite. So you always want to make sure you hit as many enemies as possible with dynamite, because it is so important for you to get your damage off and for you to build your ultimate quicker. So for you to hit as many people as you can with dynamite is very important. And also you might want to see how much damage it actually does to these training bots here. So it brings it down to roughly around 20 HP, 22. So it's very important, and then you can always finish them off with a body shot or a headshot or even a chest shot. It's always very important to, you know, always chuck your dynamite. Boom, boom. Easy as that. I know it's obviously different because they're training bots, but you can also incorporate in that your gameplay as well to always try and hit the big dynamite so you get as much value from Ashe as possible. Yeah, so Bob also is a very important part of Ashe's kit. Bob is a very situational ult that could be either one of the worst ults in the game if just slept or hacked instantaneously, or just killed instantly. So he's like, obviously it's very situational on how it happens, but obviously Bob is very good at keeping enemies around corners. It's very good at just singling a single target out. He's very good at that. So the best thing for you to do as Bob, or for you to throw your Bob, is to be, you know, just coming out of nowhere, just like, oh look, I'm up here now, and then I can do damage here, shoot that guy, then chuck Bob down here. So it's unpredictable. Bob is very, if you can chuck him on a predictable angle, you can get so much value from Bob. Because Bob does, I don't know how much Bob actually does in damage. So I will put something on the screen for you guys to look at. But Bob is very good if you can put him in the right spots. So you always want to make sure you're not chucking him straight into team fights, because it's most of the time he will just get slept or just die instantaneously. So the best thing for you to do is always chuck him at an angle, always have him around the corner. You know, in choke points, have him just stand in the center, like in the corner of an objective or something like that, where he can just sit there and pop damage at the enemies while you're still getting value from playing Ashe, while your Bob is absolutely decimating their supports and stuff like that, people that can't even, you know, defend themselves properly. And also I see a lot of new Ashe players not using the hip fire as much, or using it too much. So this is a bit of a weird one for new players. So hip fire up to 20 meters can 3-shot. So we'll wait for the spot to come back. 1, 2, 3. So it's the 3-shot. So you might want to also incorporate like one of these. So you always go for a headshot, unscope, because then they have less chance of reacting to that. Or you can do the opposite. So you always want to try and incorporate, if you can, if you get like a Winston diving on you, just make sure you fire off the hip fire as much as possible when you can. Obviously, if they're at a range like this, it's a lot more optimal to scope in. But obviously, if they're at a range like this, you might want to use your hip fire a little bit more. So try not to rely on it too much to do efficient damage to enemies, but also don't be afraid to use it if they're up in your face, etc. So you always want to make sure if they're at this kind of range, just like try and incorporate a little bit of aiming and hip fire into your gameplay a little bit more. And also just don't stay scoped in all the time, because this makes you an easier target because you walk a bit slower. Obviously when you're like this, you walk a bit faster. You see how much of a difference it is, look? See? How easy you can just strafe side to side when you're not like just holding right mouse button or, you know, just scoping in. It's so much more easier for enemies to hit you if you're just scoped in constantly. But obviously if you incorporate in the 1v1, if you incorporate a lot of hip fire and a lot of crouch movement, it can make you a really hard target to hit as Ashe. And as always as Ashe as well, you always want to be taking the high ground. You always want to be up on the high ground. You don't want to be just sat on the ground constantly. You always want to be taking positions where you can literally just get easy headshots, easy dynamites, easy bobs off as much as possible. Ashe is a far better hero if you know her positioning well. And obviously over time you'll learn her positioning, because Ashe is one of those heroes that you have to have good aim to get value. But obviously over time you will get better at aiming and shooting your dynamites, and obviously aiming your dynamites above enemies, you know, etc. Going for the headshots a lot more, keeping your crosshair. As long as your crosshair isn't all the way up here, all the way down here, because your crosshair should always be in the center of your screen. Because when playing Ashe, headshots are the most important, most deadly bit about a kit. It's like playing Widowmaker. You always have to make sure your crosshair is always in between your screen, not down here or up here. So you always want to make sure your crosshair placement is important, and obviously your position is good. But you'll learn that over time. You will become a better Ashe player. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Obviously Ashe is quite a dependable character on your skill level and your aim skill. So don't take it to heart if you're not good at Ashe to start off with. Maybe learn how to play Soldier first, who can actually treat your aim a lot better, and is not as harsh in that sense. But Ashe is a really good character if you know how to set off the dynamites, the bobs, the coach guns, the headshots. She could be deadly. Even with a mercy pocket, she is deadly right now, because there's not a lot of shields in Overwatch 2, so you can literally just rain dynamite headshot hell on everybody. And I hope you guys enjoyed this type of video, because I'm not really do longer videos. I enjoy the shorts quite a lot, but I know you guys have been absolutely killing it on the shorts so far, and I really respect all you guys for just watching, liking, subscribing, all that kind of stuff, and please keep doing that. And thank you so much for all the recent support and really encouraging me to make videos. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a nice day, and see you again soon.